All right, guys, last night I did fill out my official bracket predictions, but today I wanted to take kind of more of an analytical look at the bracket and make an official analytics-based bracket with the correct upsets based on history. This is all super in-depth, and then we're going to compare my bracket, in my opinion, which I've got right here, Depressed Ginger 1, versus the analytics bracket, and I'm actually going to fill out all 25 brackets and basically rig the bracket challenge, so I guarantee myself probably multiple millions of dollars by the end of next week based on my overall bracket winnings. And guys, also, ask me questions. If you have any bracket questions, I'm going to probably be doing a super in-depth video tomorrow. We're going to be giving out millions and millions of dollars because I am known as the bracket wizard. And if you have any questions about your bracket, you can ask me. But guys, analytics, let's get into it. I'm going to be basing this off of, 2 1 seeds reaching the Final Four, based on history and based on how these teams are analytically, and we'll see, not my opinion, based on analytics, we're going to do one 4v13 upset, we're going to do one 3v14 upset, and we're going to probably do two 12v5 upsets because traditionally that's what happens. I know all of this. I know the history behind it, so we're going to do that. So obviously, I mean, this is just something I'll do right now. We're picking all the 1 seeds. We all know that. In this 8v9 Maryland-West Virginia game, the analytics have West Virginia as slight favorites, so we're going to give them that game. San Diego State and Charleston. So guys, when it comes to analytics, I am going to be picking 2 12 seeds over 5 seeds. I'm just going to kind of go through and kind of tell you guys my thought process. So when I look at like a 12-5 game like this, I'm going to pick Drake. I think Miami's a fraud. The analytics agree. They think Miami is a fraud. Yes, they do have Miami slight favorites, but if we base it on bracket history, there will be an upset, minimum 1 upset in the 12v5 game, but likely 2 upsets. So I'm looking at this San Diego State-Charleston game, and I'm comparing it to the other 12v5 games, Duke and Oral Roberts, and then St. Mary's and VCU. And I got to be honest with you, based on all the analytics, I love Duke to beat Oral Roberts, and I love St. Mary's to beat Virginia Commonwealth. So if we do the process of elimination, we get Charleston beating San Diego State and advancing along with Drake because I want 2 12s over 5s. Looking at the 4-13 matchup, normally, traditionally, in a tournament, you will get 1 13 seed over a 4 seed. So I'm kind of left to debate. I really love Kent State, Indiana. The analytics don't love them. The analytics also don't love Virginia. So this one it's very close. I'm really pulling hairs. And then I take a look at the 4v13. The analytics love Tennessee. They think they're a top 5 team. I know some people are picking Louisiana. I understand that. Trust me, because Tennessee has not been good recently. But you want to talk about 2 4 seeds that they love, UConn and Tennessee. Both of those 4 advance. It's going to be chalk. 4v5 there. And then I'm left to decide, do I want to go against Virginia? Or really, do I want to go with Kent State? Because I love Kent State. And I think the play here is to be safe, be secure, go with Indiana, and then go with Furman, and then we've got a 12v13 game between Charleston and Furman right there. In the 6v11 matchups, the analytics absolutely love Creighton, even though they are a little bit streaky. Looking at the other 6v11, this is where it gets annoying with the first 4, but Mississippi State and Pittsburgh are not thought of as really fondly, so I'm just going to take Iowa State and move on. And then the other 6v11 games, normally there is at least 1 upset in the 6v11, and I'm going to make it this game. So it's going to be, TCU losing to Arizona State or Nevada, because I really do like Kentucky. And actually, you know what? Providence might be ranked ahead of Kentucky in terms of the analytics. Let me just look at this. Kentucky is 27th. I think Providence is inside the top 25. Oh, no, they're not. No, I don't know where Providence is. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find Providence here. Good God, where's Providence is 59th. So, yeah, go with Kentucky for sure in that one. I'm kind of skipping around here. 3v14. Normally, there's one 3v14 upset in the brackets. Let's take a look at our matchups. Do I think Santa Barbara can beat Baylor? We'll come back to it. Xavier, Kennesaw State. I got to go Xavier. Kennesaw State is not thought of very favorably there. Gonzaga, Grand Canyon. Everyone loves Gonzaga, even though they have a bad defense still. Gonzaga over Grand Canyon. They're big favorites in that 3v14 game. And then Kansas State. Okay, so this is a little tough. Kansas State is a team that kind of are not really liked by the analytics, but I really don't like Montana State. So for this one, it's either going to be Baylor, yeah, I think I might pick Santa Barbara here. Baylor is loved by the analytics. I got to use the analytics. We're going to go Montana State. That's going to be our 3v14 upset, and then we are going to have Baylor advancing. And then 7v10, these are kind of coin flip games. The analytics do like Utah State to beat Missouri. They are not high on Missouri at all. A&M, Penn State, A&M, I mean, they are underseeded. A lot of people say that. And then the other 7v10 games, Michigan State taking on USC. Michigan State thought of as the favorites there. And then Boise State over Northwestern. They are thought of the slight favorites analytically over Northwestern. And then the 2v15 matchups. So the 2v15, it's a coin flip every year on if the two seeds go 4-0 or 3-1. Certainly, I'm going to have UCLA winning. I think UNC Asheville is basically an extension 16 seed anyways. So, and I also like UCLA a lot. And then Marquette, of course, I'm going to go with Marquette to beat Vermont. I got to go with Arizona to beat Princeton. The only game I could see, you know, maybe one or two of these, maybe Princeton pulls off a shocker or maybe Colgate, because Colgate's actually one of the best three-point shooting teams in college basketball. That would really be your one upset, but I just can't do it. By the way, no, I didn't even pick the 8v9 games down here. All right, I still have to pick the 8. Okay, so the 8v9 game here, Auburn over Iowa, very slightly. It's slight, but I do believe Auburn analytically is the pick. Arkansas, Illinois. Arkansas is a top 20 team. Yes, go with Arkansas. Obviously Kansas, obviously Purdue. Memphis, FAU. It's Memphis. Surprisingly enough, it is the... Do I have all the 8s? I should not pick all the 8s. Okay, so I have 2 8s and 2 9s. That's pretty much what you want. That's exactly what we're looking for when it comes to our bracket. Now, analytically, looking at the second round matchups, certainly Alabama, they're getting basically a bye to the Sweet 16. This is, I mean, these are two of the worst 8 and 9 seeds. West Virginia, Maryland, Bama very easily goes to the Sweet 16. And then I am going to have Charleston beating Furman in the 12v13 game there. Baylor and Creighton, this is iffy. Do they like Baylor that much? Baylor's ranked... Ooh, so Baylor is ranked 14th. Creighton is ranked 15th, huh? So we're going to go Arizona, and then I really have a coin flip here. We're going to give Creighton the edge there. We're going to go with Creighton. It's a coin flip. They're very close. And then Houston, Auburn. Certainly we're going to go Houston. Drake, Indiana. I'm going to go Drake because there's always a lower double-digit seed that makes the Sweet 16. You have to be prepared for that. Xavier, Iowa State. Go Xavier there for sure. Texas A&M, Texas. Oh, man. Could you... listen, I have to go Texas, but I could see Texas A&M winning that. There's just something about Texas I don't love, but analytically I'm picking them. You got to go so listen, okay, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to go Kansas, and then we're going to go UConn, St. Mary's. We have to go UConn. Arizona State, Nevada versus Gonzaga. We have to go Gonzaga. Boise State, UCLA. I'm going a little bit too chalky, I feel like, in this region. Do I have Gonzaga get upset? I feel like Kansas is going to lose, man. I really feel like Kansas is going to lose. But I don't know if I can go too chalky. Boise, I mean, UCLA, you know, they're big favorites. If this is analytics, I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to the analytics, even if it is chalky. I'm trying to throw in upsets. You know, that's why I have a 12 seed. So I have a 1v12, a 1v12, a 2v6, a 3v2. Okay, so it's less chalky up there. Memphis, Purdue, you're going to traditionally... There's about a 50-50 chance all 4 1 seeds don't make the Sweet 16, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of use that factoid to have Purdue losing. This is Russian roulette, really, on whether you want to go with Purdue losing to Memphis or Kansas losing to Arkansas. Either one could happen, but I'm going to go with Purdue losing. And then Duke, Tennessee. The analytics love Tennessee, so we're going to advance them. Kentucky, Montana State. I like Kentucky to do very well in this tournament. And then Michigan State and Marquette. We're going to go with Marquette there to advance. Okay, we are on to the Sweet 16. So this is for a spot in the Elite Eight. Certainly Alabama will be making the Elite Eight versus a Charleston team. Fun team, high-scoring game. Bama wins it. Creighton in Arizona. You know what? Where's Arizona? They're ranked 10th. I mean, this is a coin flip game, right? Do I go chalk? I'm going to actually fill out the rest of this and then come back to this Creighton-Arizona game. Houston, Drake, you've got to go Houston. I mean, they're top 10 in terms of offense and defensive efficiency. Xavier, Texas, I can't go complete chalk, so I'm going to go Xavier, and it's a 1v3 matchup there. And then down here, Kansas, UConn. I'm going UConn in the upset because the analytics actually have Kansas outside of the top 10, and UConn is thought of higher than Kansas. And then Gonzaga, UCLA. I think you got to go UCLA there. You do. You have to go. Gonzaga is too bad on defense, even with UCLA dealing with the injury to Jalen Clark. Memphis, Tennessee. Listen, so I'm just trying to think, where does my upset come from? Is it Memphis beating Tennessee, or is it Kentucky over Marquette? I think it's going to be Kentucky. I'm going to go Kentucky. I'm going to go Tennessee in this bracket because in my own personal bracket, I have Marquette in the finals, and I want to kind of spread it out a little bit. And then coming back up, Creighton and Arizona, it's tough. I'm going to go Creighton. I am going to go Creighton. All right, so we're on to the Elite Eight games. It's a 1v6 matchup. So my Final Four strategy analytically is to have 2 1 seeds and then 2 like lower seeds, like 2 1 seeds, maybe a 2 seed, and then like a 4 seed. That's what you're looking like in terms of history. Or you go 1 1 seed, 1 2 seed, like 1 3 or 4 seed, and then maybe a Cinderella. Could I see a Cinderella making the Final Four? The only Cinderella I thought of, well, maybe Kentucky, maybe Michigan State, and the one that I really liked that got screwed was Florida Atlantic. I'm going to talk about that in another video, but Florida Atlantic got screwed being a 9 seed. But I'm going to have Alabama advance, and I'm going to have Houston advance, because analytically, they are by far the 2 most complete teams for sure, and they're on opposite sides of the bracket. And then I think I'm going to roll with UConn, and I think I'm going to roll with, I mean, I don't like Tennessee. I think I'm going to roll with, I have to go with Tennessee because I do, because they're 4th overall in terms of that. So we've got an SEC matchup, and then we've got Houston and UConn, and then, again, if I'm sticking to this bracket's philosophy, it's going to be very boring. It's Alabama versus Houston, and then I'm going to have Houston, well, this will, because I picked in mine Houston, I'm going to pick Alabama to be the national champion, and I'm going to go 79 to 71 for the national championship score. Alabama over Houston. This is the official analytics-based bracket with, I think, possibly the correct number of upsets. Maybe I should have gone for 1 or 2 more upsets, but I do think traditionally you're going to see a few double-digit seeds like Drake and Charleston. Maybe as your Cinderella runs to the Sweet 16. Creighton gets hot. They make the Elite Eight. But you have Alabama, Houston, end up, the 1 seeds going. You've got Tennessee. I don't agree with Tennessee, but again, they're 4th or 5th overall analytically. They're top 10 in Ken Palm, I think. UConn is loved. So We will see if this bracket ends up better. It is kind of chalky. You have a 2v4. You do have a 4v6 matchup there with Marquette losing to Kentucky. But, yeah, so that'll be that bracket with Bama winning. You know, obviously Alabama, I didn't pick them because I think it's a karma thing. But certainly they are one of the best teams, graded out to be one of the best teams analytically, no question. So, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.